Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sunny here, and on episode 8 of Criminal Minds Evolution, we open with a Dr. DeSella, uh, being the next target on Jade and Damien's list of people they want to pay for what happened at Stewart House. Meanwhile, at the BAU, Jill and Rossi have a huge fight, and so they're not going to be working together. Maybe. They explain everything to Jill, and she reveals she was the one who took the white paper out. Although her husband and Rossi had felt that it was too dangerous, she felt it could be used to actually prevent these kind of unsubs from evolving. That if you found the kids early enough and you gave them enough therapy, they would become fairly productive members of society. And got backing from a commercial enterprise. There were also more than one Stewart house. When no one was listening to her, she finally left. And now she finds out none of the kids were actually helped. They were all turned into killers. Well, Emily goes to talk to Rossi, and it turns out, despite what Jill had told Emily, Rossi and Jill were never physically intimate. And Rossi left because he didn't want to break up a marriage. They were his friends. Jill does supply a list of the doctors that worked at Stewart House, or actually other houses that were made. A quick check shows that the company is still unknown. It was bounced around through several shell companies. What is her name? Rebecca. Rebecca reveals to Tara the U.S. Marshal database was hacked. Obviously, Voight is looking for his family and has somebody doing it for him. Most obvious suspect, his lawyer, Orlov. So, reluctantly, Rebecca goes to see Tyler, gives him Orlov's file, and asks him to help them find something that they can use to get him to open up as a lawyer. Jade has a nightmare, one that she has had recurring, and she and Damien promise each other they will not let each other be caged again. That'll be important later. Let's see. JJ and Luke head out to see Dr. DeSella, and they find his body hung. Apparent suicide. But there's things at the site that tell them it's not suicide, specifically the battering around the head he took. They look through his files and find that the one marked Stewart House is empty. Garcia then goes and looks through the list and finds that all of them have either died in an accident or suicide. And these started well before the strike team had been sent after them. So they've been at this a while, and they've been covering up pretty well. There's only one left. Jill. So Rossi goes to talk to Jill, and they decide they need to go to her apartment, townhouse, whatever it is, to pull up her old files so that they can go through and see if they can identify any of these people that are part of Gold Star. And they go with a guard because Jill's the last target, basically. Orlov goes to meet Jade and Damien, and he gives them the box, which contains a GPS and a lockbox, and explains to them North Star isn't the end. It goes beyond that. And they let him go. They put Jill's house under surveillance, and they see Jill and Rossi go in, and they also see the guards. So they're going to have to come up with a new plan. They go through the files. They identify a lot of... they identify Jade and Damien from the files based on their history. The names were coded, but anyway. While talking, Jill thinks that the only way forward now is for her to use as bait to draw them out, which Rossi is totally against. So, of course, they get to talking about old times, and Jill kisses Rossi, which makes him very uncomfortable, and he says, no, we can't do this, and he leaves. Rossi goes back to the BAU, and Damien, at night, breaks in to Jill's house, and he's ready to kill her, and she says, I need your help to save a young boy. Let me take you somewhere. They evade the guards. When her kidnapping is found, Rossi realizes she kissed him to make him uncomfortable so that he would leave her alone so that Damien could get in to get her. And he's pretty much figured out where they're going. They're going to the beginning of North Star. Gideon's cabin that he and Jill had vacationed in many times, and that's where it was all started, the paper. They get there, Jill and Damien get there, and she starts to talk to him and explain that what had been done to him and why. And then we get the big bombshell. His first kill was his foster father. And it turns out his foster father was not an evil man. He had actually been trying to get Damien out of Stewart House. And this caused a problem, so they at Stewart House decided the perfect test would be to see if Damien could be convinced his foster father was evil and kill him, which he did. And this revelation just collapses Damien. He drops his gun. He's in tears. About that time, the FBI and the BAU show up. They've got the place surrounded. Joe brings him out. Says, we're unarmed. We're coming out. And Damien surrenders, at which point he is shot and killed. And the BAU and the feds are all shot. They finally track down the shot, where it's coming from, and it's a gun set on automatic with a timer and stuff. Jade is escaping through the woods, keeping her half of the promise. And we have Jill in tears, believing she has caused all this. It's all her fault. Good episode. Very emotional. Didn't need to see Voight in this. Oh, there was one other thing. Tyler and Rebecca had pulled Orlov in, and have discovered Voight found him on the web just like everyone else. He himself is one of those conspiracy nuts, which is why he accepted Voight's as a client, because he believes he's all part of it too and had been a victim. But they try to kind of insert a wedge between him and Voight, and then let him go to see if anything got affected by that. And of course, Tyler is now following him to see where he goes and what he does. Back to, really good episode. Pretty suspenseful. Felicity Huffman is great as Jill. That scene between her and Damien at the cabin. Wow. Very emotional, very taut. And you got to feel for him and Jay. They really don't have any choice in what they've become. They were made that way. Doesn't excuse what they did, and she's still going to need to be caught, and she's probably not going to want to go without a big fight and maybe take some people out, which is too bad. But yeah, really feel for him, which is always the hallmark of a good a thriller, where you understand the killer. You don't agree, but you understand and also realize they need to be stopped. So yeah, only 2 episodes left to go. I can't wait to see where this ends up. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.